Good morning, everybody. It's Shavua Tov. It's Sunday. Hope you had a wonderful Shabbat. And moving on to the week. Today we're going to finish the 18th of the 19 blessings of the Amidah. And maybe this week we'll finish the entire Amidah. Somebody asked me what we're going to do afterwards. I have no idea. We'll see. But anyway, the 18th bracha, the 18th blessing, the blessing of thanksgiving. Now, I'll tell you a story. There was a great rabbi, he lived in Jerusalem, his name was Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. And he used to say a very long Amidah. Everyone was finished, everyone was moving on, and he was still davening. And finally somebody was curious, and they asked him, where do you dwell? Where do you add extra time? Which request are you focusing on that's causing you to, take a long time in your Amidah? What are you asking for? Are you focusing on your children, asking for health, asking for wisdom? Torah learning maybe because you're a great sage? He said, no. Throughout the requests, I daven regular speed. I pray regular speed. I just kind of say them like everybody else. Where I get caught and what takes me a tremendously long time is this blessing of Modim. When I start giving thanks to Hashem, I can't stop because I'm so filled with incredible gratitude every day for everything Hashem does. And he would just dwell upon the gratitude. So this arguably is one of the most, if not the most important blessing of the 19, because this is where we truly express our gratitude. And of course you can use the words in this blessing, but also it's a time just to pause and thank God personally for the good stuff that's going on in your life. Hey, thank you for allowing me to meet this person. Thank you for allowing me to have this experience. Thank you for this nachas. Thank you for this opportunity, whatever it might be. And this probably, I would say this is, let's call it the most important bracha in the Shemona Esrei. And it's actually in the halacha, in the Jewish, according to the Jewish codification of Jewish law, you're actually supposed to try extra hard on this particular blessing to have kavanah, to have focus and intent on what the words are. And ultimately, it makes perfect sense because what are we davening for anyway? What are we praying for? What's the whole purpose of prayer? As we've said a million times in this series, not to get what we want. It's not God's not the vending machine, and the prayer is the numbers that you put into the vending machine to get the can of Coke that you're looking for. The purpose of prayer is devekus, is to cling to Hashem, is to be drawn close to Hashem all the time. And there's no greater way to create a love and a clinging and a yearning and a desire and a closeness to Hashem than by thanking Him and expressing our consistent and constant gratitude for everything He does in our lives. And I just want to say one thing, there's something a little bit unusual about this particular prayer, unlike the other ones in the Amidah, and that is during the repetition, because the entire Amidah is repeated, during the repetition, normally, through all the other 18 out of the 19, we sit quietly while the Chazan, while the leader is repeating, and we respond, Amen. But here, it's different. Here, while the leader is reading this blessing during the repetition, we also say it out loud, a slightly different version. So why can't we just hear and respond, Amen, like we do with the other 18 blessings in the Amidah? So I want to read and finish off this morning and finish off this blessing with the words of Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch. And he says like this on his commentary in the Siddur. He said, the avowal of thanksgiving constitutes so basic of a principle in our relationship to God that the compilers of our prayer book did not deem it sufficient merely to have the congregation signify its assent by saying Amen at the end of this blessing when they hear the reader say it. Instead, the rabbis ordained that when the reader bows and begins to recite this prayer, the congregation too should bow and recite their own Modim prayer jointly with the reader. In other words, you can't outsource gratitude. The leader could be up there praying on my behalf and making my requests on my behalf, and I can be saying Amen to support what he's saying. But when it comes to gratitude, that's a very personal thing. I have to personally express my gratitude to Hashem, and that is what this blessing is all about. Tomorrow, a little surprise, and then we'll continue and finish the Amidah this week. I hope. Have a great day, everybody.